What's good, everyone? Back at you guys with another video. Man, I got a surprise for you guys. I want to introduce you guys to a friend of mine that found me based on YouTube, and he's become a brother, man. He's a good guy. I want to tell you guys and introduce you to a retired U.S. American who just went on the relocation who just went on our relocation trip, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about it and introduce you guys to Coach James, everyone.
Hey guys, nice to be able to be here with you, KT, and hey, I'm just looking forward to being able to tell my story.
Right on. So, like I told you, Coach James called me. He messaged me from YouTube, and we got to talking a little bit. So I wanted to just ask him some questions for you guys, and yeah, let's talk about it, man. So, Coach James, how you doing, brother?
Hey, doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to finally meet you in person, man.
Yeah,
you know,
most definitely.
So we've been talking a lot, and it's like we've been messaging on WhatsApp a lot. And so once we did our consultation, which I'll get into that, we'll talk about that. But once you get to finally meet someone in real life, it's crazy, right?
It is. You know, it's been a little over, I think, a month. Yeah. Where we had started talking initially, actually probably around like 6 weeks total, you know, just prior to my trip to initially going to Thailand for a couple weeks, whatever, prior to the trip here to Vietnam. So, you know, it's just been looking forward to meeting you, and glad that, you know, we're able to get the trip taken care of, and then also to be able to meet here this evening.
Yeah, so like I said, when you come to Vietnam, we plan a lot. So when you get to meet someone in real life, and you finally that you've been talking to, that you know, like, bruh, we've been talking, you know what I'm saying? So now I see him in person, and it's so strange, you know what I mean? Like, seeing someone, you're like, I know you, man, you know?
Exactly. You know, it's been, you know, a lot of good communication back and forth, you know, from the initial meet. You know, it's even backing up from that. You know, I initially saw you on the Isaiah Ashley show, you know, when you were when interviewing him and everything. Or I think he may have been interviewing you, talking about you know, Vietnam prior to his move and everything like that. And from what I remember, his sit down with you was part of the reason why he actually moved here to the country. So, you know, I'm just looking forward to you know, continuing, you know, with the time that I have here now, and for the return visit.
Right on. So let's rewind a little bit. So tell the people about you, just a little bit about you. He's retired, so speak on that. What do you do in the States? Tell a little bit people about yourself.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, I do nothing in the States. I am a retired soldier. I was a medic in the Army, pretty much a year from after graduating from high school. Spent 25 years in, traveled a lot. Knew that I had developed a love for travel. The issue is that I didn't really take the time that I should have in order to be able to explore more, you know, while I was abroad, you know, because you get caught up in the day-to-day lifestyle with what's going on with work and so on and so forth, and just didn't take the time. So I said, now I've got the ability to do that, so I'm doing it now. So I retired from the military probably 11 years ago. I call it hoop dreams, but actually it was football. So I coached, you know, youth, semi-pro football prior to getting out of the military, just throughout my career, where it would, you know, whenever time would allow. And so once I was retiring, I just wanted to be able to see if I could continue to do that, you know, at the high school and possibly the collegiate level. So I did that for about 7 years. And it, you know, huge respect for everybody at the college level, because those hours that they work are they're crazy long hours, 7, especially during the season, so everybody's back in the States right now, watching football. The amount of time that those staffs put in preparation for each game from week to week is just off the charts. And, it's a 7-day-a-week lifestyle for 5-6 months at a time. And so really for me, I had that conflict. I know I'm getting older. I wanted to travel, but then the time requirement that it demands, it just, they just didn't fit together well. So after the last season ended for the high school that I was coaching with, I just decided to, make the move and start traveling.
I'm gone. Yeah, he said, I'm gone. You could be just like him. I'm just saying. Yeah. So what made you pick Vietnam?
All right. So initially it didn't start with Vietnam. Okay. Probably 5-6 years ago when I was initially kind of, putting all this together in my head. My oldest brother, he's retired from the military as well. His wife is German. And so they were living back and forth between Germany and Florida. And he had asked me, hey, or he actually had been telling me for quite a while, that I should come over and visit. So I did a visit with him, and then from there, knew that it was going to be time for me to go ahead and start traveling. And so you started watching YouTube videos, started with the Philippines. That was kind of top of the list because, there's, they speak English there for the most part. And then from there, just with the more videos I watched, more countries started being added to the list. It went from there to Thailand being on the list. And then most recently, again, after watching your video with Isaiah, I added Vietnam and kind of went from there. So when it came time for me to go and take this trip, I pretty much just scratched the Philippines off the list. Scratched the Philippines. Not that it's not a good country to go to by any means. They still on the list to visit. But I hit Thailand for a couple weeks, but then really wanted to kind of dedicate a lot of time to Vietnam, and have enjoyed the last almost 3 weeks that I've been here.
Okay. Fire. So we're gonna get into his trip shortly, so hang with us, all right? So you decided to, you said you traveled to Thailand first, right?
Yes.
All right, so what made you contact me to check out Vietnam? I mean, I know you said Isaiah's channel, but a lot of people see me on Isaiah's channel, but they don't call for a consultation. They don't do a trip. They don't book a trip through me. Like, what made you do that?
Okay. Yeah, it was hearing about the quality of life here in Vietnam, just from multiple channels. From multiple YouTubers and everything that are out there. But then after seeing that time with you in the interview that you two had, I just kind of added your channel to the list and started going through. As I was listening, to all the different information, I had saw the visa run that you had gone on down to Cambodia and everything. And just started kind of putting the pieces together, and then you had referenced, the services that you provided. And so looked into that a little bit, and I was like, it's, you either need, I don't know if you get it. My dad used to say that you need to either shit or get off the pot, one of the two. So knowing that it was somebody that I could kind of tap in like that was going to be a opportunity for me to get information that you just normally wouldn't be able to get out here on your own. I relate it back to the being in the military, and it's the reason behind me choosing it as well. Normally, if you're in the military and you're going from point A to point B, you're going overseas or what have you, you will actually have a wealth of people, a huge number of people that are serving as a support for you to get from one country to the next. And once you arrive there, you know, it's a lot of things that you have to do for yourself and on your own. But, you know, as far as, you know, where to go, where not to go, what hotel to stay in, what food to eat, so on and so forth, how do you get around from one place to the next, all of that was being provided, you know. And so that, you know, was the reason for me making the decision that I did.
So you set up a consultation. Walk us through the process of, obviously it's my service, it's my business, I know what I did, but walk the people through the process of how we did things, you know, from your perspective.
All right, so from what I remember, because, you know, it's been about a month and a half, almost 2 months.
He's done a lot,
but yeah, I've been busy. But I remember, you know, after I saw the video, I pretty much just reached out, you know, sent an email and got that reply back from you, and we had set up an opportunity, you know, for us to get on a Zoom call together. So we had that Zoom call. You kind of explained everything to me, you know, that of which it was the initial consultation, that phone consultation that was done and via Zoom. Kind of said and laid out what I was looking for, what my expectations were, and then, you know, you gave me feedback on that and said that, you know, hey, that you believe that this package or whatever would be able to help with the process, you know. And so once I was sent that, you know, I was able to kind of review to see what all the support resources and everything that were there, from healthcare to transportation to flights to, you know, buses to, you know, whatever was needed. All of that was laid out for me, and from there I was set.
Yeah, he was definitely set. So let's rewind a little bit before. So now we have the process, right? We know what we did, right? And the initial. So let's talk about the actual trip.
Okay.
So Coach came in from Thailand. He'll speak on that, but he came in from Thailand, and from there it was all me to take care of him, you know. So we planned it together, and I want him to tell you a little bit about what his experience was. What did he do? We did an elaborate plan for him. What was it, 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Yeah, it was 3 weeks in Da Nang for 1 week, Ho Chi Minh City, and then he popped around the south of Vietnam. So I want him to just tell you guys a little bit about how his adventure was. What did he do? He did a bunch of stuff, tours, all that stuff. Tell the people about what your experience was.
Okay. All right. So initially the trip started with me in Thailand. So having always wanted to visit Thailand, said, you know, hey, let me go ahead and you know, take the plunge. So I initially said, well, let me just go and do a couple weeks there, since I wanted to kind of focus more so on Vietnam. So I did a week in Pattaya. The second week was in Bangkok, and then I took a flight over to Ho Chi Minh or Saigon. So
Here. Okay.
So initially I would tell you, like, the process was, and I don't know why more people just don't do this, but the accommodation that was made at with the VIP support there at the airport was awesome. Extremely inexpensive. So based upon the price, again, I don't know why everybody's not doing it. But so once I arrived here to the airport, let's see. So they pretty much just work you and guide you through where you need to go to get you up to immigration. But when I got there, I had a lady there with my name, a sign with my name on it, and she, kind of unhooked the rope for me to be able to kind of just cut through and put me in a short line. Yeah. So I'm standing in line, and so there was maybe 25 people ahead of me. But then when I looked over to the right, it had to be no less than about 300 people that were all trying to get processed through.
That's crazy.
And the reason for it is because I think it was maybe 3 or 4 planes, arrived, one after the other, and so the line just kind of kept growing and growing and growing, and the only people that really were ahead of me were like diplomats that were coming in, and you could just look at all the different headers and everything, and you could see that, all right, well, the diplomats over there was like maybe 1 or 2 people, coming at a time, versus our 25 versus the 300,
yeah.
Exactly. So so from there, once you get processed through, you go pick up your bags. Your bags are picked up, and then you're downstairs in order to go and get a SIM card, exchange whatever money you need to exchange. My recommendation, before you come, get you brand new $100 bills prior to coming here. And I say that Vietnam, they're a little lenient and everything. They took my crumbled up, my little worn $20 bills that I had gotten for the amount of money that I brought. But Thailand wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take it at all. No, they kind of rifled through some of them, and they, I think I gave her initially like $300. Well, she gave me $200 back. So I'm like, oh, and when I, it was legit. When I started going through the bills and looking at it, I was like, okay, yeah, all right, I get you. But so again, brand new $100 bills, or as brand new as you can possibly get, going to any country and trying to actually exchange it. And so once we were done, I was through the whole SIM card and process with getting the money exchanged. There was a driver that was outside and waiting for me. Again, had a sign, hopped in the vehicle, and took me straight to the hotel.
Okay, 100%. So basically what you're saying is you got the VIP service. I know, but he got the VIP service. I'm in communication and I see all the messages. So there's a constant communication going back and forth on the back end, where our team will make sure that you're taken care of. Right? Exactly. So the communication was awesome. It's a WhatsApp group. It ends up being created, and so from the time that I would, post a question, an answer was coming in. No more. I think out of 3 weeks, it may have been one question that was answered that outside of 5 minutes. And that's a stretch. So as I had questions, whatever they were being, answered, there was no confusion or whatever's all clarity that was there, and support, and then even when the agency may have been, I say a little late, but I'm talking a couple minutes, then you would chime in as well, depending upon what the question was. Yeah, no, when I say in my videos, I got your back 100% out here. Is that right or wrong?
You're right. There's no question, no doubt about that at all.
So you get to your hotel here in Ho Chi Minh. So let me just break this down for you guys. So Coach he started here in Saigon. He went to all over the place. So he went to Da Nang. You went to Dalat?
Yep.
Yeah, he went to.
No, it was Vung Tau first.
Oh, that's
Vung Tau,
right.
then Dalat.
You know what? Let me just have him tell it, okay? Let me just.
Yeah. So I don't want to leave any of this out, but basically it was like, all right. So I got to the hotel. I had stayed up late the night before, because I've always had like a bad habit of being a late packer. So was kind of tired when I got here. Went, laid down, showered, laid down for a couple hours and everything. Got up, got something to eat. But the next day I had a tour, a guided tour of Ho Chi Minh. So it was a combined like walking tour and a bus tour. Then that afternoon, I was assigned a driver. The driver took me on a tour, and I pretty much had that driver for about like 6 days. So that day we drove to Vung Tau. I stayed the night in Vung Tau. After staying there for the night, I had a chance to kind of see that beach area, eat out, and everything. The next day we drove to Dalat. So that was a long car ride. But I tell you, it was beautiful. If you're like into nature and everything like that, going through the mountains of central southern Vietnam, it was just, the views were phenomenal. With all the mountain passes and everything. So we got to
30-minute consultation with Kev, and he was amazing. If you want professionalism, he's humble. He does everything in bullet point. He emails you, and he wants to know what you want, where you want to live, what's your whole plan for wherever you want to live in Vietnam, and he gives it in full bullet point proof. He emails it to you, and then on your 30-minute call, you can talk 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. And he explains everything that you need and want. He is a humble dude. He is respectful, professional. It doesn't matter what race, religion, sexual orientation, whatever you are, he is going to cater to your needs because he is not in it for the money. He really values the people, the human beings, and want better life for everybody. Everybody needs to jump on a call with him, like ASAP, to set everything up if you want to visit Vietnam or to live in Vietnam. He has all types of contacts you want, from realtors, lawyers, whatever you need, he got it. He's your man. He has now become the brother I never knew I wanted. Peace.
Dalat, and there. Are we plugging hotels?
Go ahead.
Okay, I will say, look, so the options that he gives as far as hotel choices are like phenomenal. So if you're like a couple that are over here, or a couple that's coming, you want to go show out for your girl, just look at the options that are available. So the one definitely. So the two options that he's going to show you in Dalat, premium, especially if you're a couple. But I stayed at the Terracotta for a couple nights. Went on a tour of the city. One of them takes you to the old headquarters, I believe it is for the country. And so this particular location is no longer being utilized, but it's just a overall great experience. Okay. Tour of the city and everything like that. From there, it was on to Nha Trang or whatever. I stayed for a couple of days, right there, maybe 1 block from the beach. So great experience. And then from there was a car ride back to Ho Chi Minh. So came back that evening. The next morning took a flight up to Da Nang, was in Da Nang for a week, and then at the conclusion of that week I flew here to Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah, so Coach has been pretty busy here. So meanwhile, I've been working, but I've been keeping an eye on him though, definitely. And there's been a lot of communication behind the scenes. So I'm glad you had a good time, really. So tell the people what was your best city? What do you think your best city was? Nha Trang, Dalat, Vung Tau, Da Nang, or if I said Da Nang already, and Ho Chi Minh City.
Okay. This one's still kind of hard, and I think what it is partly because, like I was, born and raised in East Tennessee, so you've got the Smoky Mountains that are right there. And growing up, I think I may only gone to the beach just a couple of times, so that beach environment is always a little higher, on the list as far as where I feel more at peace and everything. So that considering, I think every city has its own different vibe to it. All its own different flavor, its own different style. It kind of depends on what it is that you're looking to try to do, and what you're wanting the experience to be. So I don't knock any of them, but if I want to narrow it down, I can only get it down to two, and I would put Da Nang at the top of the list, again because of the beach environment. Even like the last night that I was there, I'm out just walking around, I'm on the beach and everything, and I knew that was my last night. So many of the beaches that I've personally been to, they pretty much closed down in the States. So you just don't have like after dark access. But in Da Nang, you got Da Nang Beach, and then you got right adjacent to it is Mai Kea Beach. So while I was there, just went out, on the beach, and they got the lawn chairs, they got the bean bags that you could rent and just sit down at. So I sat down.
$800K,
Exactly. You paying like $10 for a place to sit, food and something to drink. So I got me a fruit tray, and mango smoothie. Yeah, mango smoothie, and and just kind of just sat there. Waves crashing in, and had to kind of fight to kind of keep from dozing off or whatever like that. But it was peaceful enough, felt safe, secure, and everything like that. And then once it was over, pretty much took a walk back to my hotel, and the next day, flew back here. Ho Chi Minh is the number two. This city is, is like a big metropolis, back in the United States. It's like, it's almost like a Miami type of vibe. Miami, New York, it's hustle and bustle.
Say like more like Manhattan?
Yes. I would say that definitely. Sure. Because you've got that, you've got the river that kind of runs through and everything like that. But it's a lot of things to do. Different tours. From the bus tours, the walking around, a bunch of landmarks and everything like that. You've got the Coogee tunnels that you could go to, the Mekong Delta. It's just a bunch.
Definitely. So let's talk about you traveling. So you're obviously a solo traveler, or do you have a partner? Did you travel with a partner?
Oh no, I'm 100% solo.
Okay.
100% solo.
All right, so solo bolo here, and so I know you were alluding to it earlier, but about Dalat and being a couple and whatnot. But since you traveled solo, would you recommend other solo travelers doing the same thing you did, or would you rather them be more with a couple, be with a partner? What do you think? What's your recommendation? Traveling Vietnam.
I think really if you're a solo traveler, just travel.
Yeah.
It don't matter. You're a couple. Just go.
Yeah.
Just go. Get up off the couch.
Yeah.
Quit making excuses. Quit putting work ahead of life. and that's what I had done. You know, it's a lot of experiences that I could have had just throughout my life, with a lot of places that I've been, and I just didn't do it. You know, for the fact that I just wanted to, you know, make sure that everything was taken care of at work, and you know, and family, and so on and so forth. And I never put myself, you know, in a position to really be able to travel like I wanted to.
Yeah, that's like everyone, you know. I mean, we put our work first, you know, and it's like, of course you got to pay the bills and stuff, but I always try to tell people, like, it's time to travel. Like, if you can travel, even if you have a week, just go and travel, right? I mean, would you recommend that as well?
Yes, definitely. If you only have a week, take the week and go. If you got a couple of days, I'm not sure if you know, for me, it was like 25, 26 hours or whatever to get here total. But you know, take the time. You know, if you can only vacation locally, go somewhere local. You know, if you can't even leave the city, go stay in a hotel for a weekend or whatever with your loved one, or even by yourself, and treat yourself to dinner. You know, dinner and a movie. Go to a show or something along that lines, in order to be able to just you know, kind of unplug from the matrix, you know. And if you can only just do a temporary unplug for the weekend, then unplug for the weekend, you know, and then, you know, plug it back up on Sunday night, you know, so you can, you know, be ready for work or whatever on the Monday. But the last thing that you want to do is put all this time, effort, and energy into an employer who really, you will be replaced within, in some cases, like in the military, we'll have you replaced in 72 hours. 72 hours, your slot's been, they're going to put somebody in there temporarily until they can get a permanent replacement. And within anywhere from 7 days to, you know, a month is a permanent replacement in there, you know. So, you know, this was just a time to where I knew that I just really just needed to go and experience life. Now my kids aren't all too excited about it because, you know, I'm too far away. And one of my daughters, shout out to her, Miss Margaret, but she just doesn't like me being to the point I'm so far away to where if something were to happen, she just can't, you know, hop on a plane and be there within, you know, a few hours or drive, you know. But, you know, it's one of those things to where, you know, she is living her life. She's got her family, all of them do. And so what I'm trying to do is just lay tracks in the sand for them to come on behind me and do the same thing.
100%. I get it. That's why I'm here, you know. Exactly. I'm laying the groundwork for my people as well, you know. Right. It takes time to convince people to, like, hey man, there's a better way. There's a whole new world over here, you know. And for us black folks, they do accept us over here. So just FYI. So come on through. So let's transition to what I know all the men really want to know about. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the women.
Okay.
So so I say on my channel a lot, you just got to come over here and you just got to walk outside, be boots on the ground. Yes. Because a lot of you guys have asked me, Kev, how do you find women? How do you find Vietnamese women? And I always tell you guys, just get here and then just walk outside. Go to a cafe or something, but you just be outside. They're all over the place. Can you speak to that? Am I right or am I wrong? And could you speak to how many females, baddies, that he saw here?
Okay. So I agree with you. You want to see some females? I won't even say walk outside. I will say leave your hotel room. Only thing you gotta do is come downstairs. Mm-hmm. They're there from the hotel staff, from other travelers, regardless of the country that they may be from. Then from there, walk outside.
Yeah.
And they're there. You know, I know every time I would come downstairs, you know, you've got smiles. You don't have the sense and the air of arrogance or whatever that is there. And you know, I know everybody has their own level of self-esteem and everything like that, but there's also a level of respect or whatever, and just being cordial, you know, with one another. And so for me, you know, you speak to someone, they're going to speak back, you know, and it's not this, you know, turn, look, and then look the other way and kind of keep it moving, as you know, what you will see a lot of times in the United States. So, you know, it doesn't matter. And especially the one thing that was kind of cool is to see there is a huge emphasis on fitness that's here. And yeah, I approve this message.
Like this. Like this.
I'll approve that message. But what I would say is, you go over to the beach and you see, and this is like to 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, that they're out there running, that you will see women that are in these large groups and they're doing aerobics, or they're doing, it was this one, it was more so, which was, I think was real interesting, but it was like from a mental health standpoint, and I wish I could recall the name of the program, but they just had a loud music playing, and everybody was just dancing, right there on the boardwalk. Probably 20-30 people, you know, from a mental health standpoint. Yeah, you want to meet them, go to the grocery store. I've seen them in the mall, the grocery store, out on the beach, on the boardwalk, in the hotels, walking on the street. I went to Gucci, the Gucci store down the street. Everywhere. It don't matter. And all of them, now they may not necessarily, you know, want to go as far as trying to exchange numbers or whatever like that, but for those that are willing to, they're going to do it.
Yeah, you're in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're in there.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is, what you've seen is that the Vietnamese women they're not afraid of us.
No, not by any means. And then again, you know, everybody has their own preference. What you like is what you like, and what you don't like is what you don't like. For me, I used to say, you know, years ago, you know, when I was a lot younger, that I don't turn down anything but my collar. You know, so I'm just open to people, you know, and it was kind of partly how I was raised. I was raised in a 2-parent home. I was raised by a black mother and black father, but they were older, so just even, you know, it goes a lot deeper, and probably a little too deep for this one message, whatever, for right now. But just from how I was raised, that it caused me to look at people, and, you know, more so from the content of their character, who they are, you know, as opposed to just looking at the color of their skin, because I know that skin color has no bearing when it comes down to being loved or being screwed over. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It depends on the person that you're dealing with. And so one thing I will say, when you're just walking the streets or you know, the different locations, 1 out of 2.
I was gonna say
1 out of 2, and it's probably less than that.
Yeah.
When you passing, you will have your head on a swivel, because, you know, they're just beautiful, and they're everywhere. You know, from every socioeconomic status, background, religion, because you know, I know in some cases, you know, people are highly concerned over the religion and a person's religious background and what their preference is. But like yesterday, I went to it's called the River International Church, and it was their international day that they have every year. And so it had every country recognized in the service as far as promoting and how they worship and so on and so forth. So even though this is a Buddhist country, primarily, that there are Christians over here as well, and so that's the thing or whatever that I just wanted to ensure that the country was open to it, that it existed, and that there wasn't any tension or whatever because of my particular beliefs.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. That's a key point, man. If that's a key point to some people, religion for sure. So, so overall, let the people know. Would you recommend KT service? Would you speak on that? And yeah.
I highly recommend it. And the reason for that is because, like I had said before, when you're going around and you're traveling from, one country to the next, and I can say that, because I've traveled a lot, been to several different countries and everything. But when you're out and you're traveling solo to a brand new country, then it can be pretty daunting. Like, I've been to a lot of places, but yet to be able to get on a plane and fly somewhere that you've never been before, there's no support system, and it's just you trying to figure it out. I'm thankful, and I wish I could call the gentleman's name in his channel, but thankful for the information that a lot of these YouTubers are putting out. As far as like the step-by-step process, because there's one, he really helped a lot just with the information that he had out there for how to just get into the country, as far as Thailand is concerned. But it was all on your own. By doing this, it really kind of allowed you to feel comfortable stepping out. I know there's a lot of people that, of which I kind of consider myself to be more of an introverted person. But it just kind of just helps you open the door to be able to step out in order to be able to experience the country, and not really feel, because it's easy to feel a little overwhelmed by what's going on, and let me just kind of stay in my comfort zone in my hotel room. But like here, every day everything's open and everything like that. You just if it's raining, like I'm here kind of on the tail end of the rainy season, take your umbrella, go outside and just walk.
No, you're in the beginning.
Oh, this is the beginning. Oh, okay, all right. Well,
we got a lot more rain coming.
Okay, all right, but yeah, it's just been an awesome experience, from the WhatsApp group that's there, from the information that's provided in the the PDF, as far as the relocation, the support services and everything like that. Like, there's no way that I would have done I wouldn't have done probably 25% of everything that I've done had I not gone through the service and used the services or whatever that you provided. So definitely appreciative.
Yeah, no, I set it up that way just because I know that Vietnam can be very daunting. It was daunting for me, so I know that it's daunting for other people. I mean, y'all tell me it's daunting too. So there are people who do DIY. I did it DIY, and I learned the hard way. There were things. I mean, Vietnam is an easy country to like travel through, but if you don't know what you're doing here, you could get lost, scammed.
There's a lot of pitfalls out there. A lot easier. You got everybody. You have a lot of situations where there are a lot of people that don't have as much money as you do, as I do, as you do, and so many of them are in survival mode. So you have to think, if you had mouths to feed at home, what would you be willing to do in order to make sure that you could put food on the table, that you can put clothes on your kids' back, roof over everyone's head? And so that's one thing that you really kind of have to take into consideration when you're out here and when you're engaging. Everybody's on the come up, and it's because And like for me, a issue that I've struggled with is the fact that they don't have a tipping culture here. Like, to give a tip is kind of like an odd thing to them. And for me, it was a struggle for the fact that things are so inexpensive, and you can go and give someone a 20,000 dong tip, of which is maybe
Less than $1.
yeah, it's like 50 something cents, like a 50-cent tip, and their eyes are like saucers, and everything. So when it comes down to, somebody jacking up the prices, they're going to jack up the price on you. And just like I've heard in several videos that really they're going to give you the highest price, and if you don't work them down, then they're going to look at you. They're going to look at you a little funny. They're going to think, like, they don't know what is he doing, but the idea is to get them to try to come down on the price like 2 to 3 times. And if they come down that second time, that third time especially, that's just about the actual price. But yeah, so between that, and then also when it comes down to different mannerisms, habits, just the culture is different. Like one thing,
different.
Yeah, the one thing that I had to notice from like the airport and everything, like the cultural differences. A lot of people just don't realize that. Like for one thing, for example, is personal space. Like there's no such thing as like personal space. With you got to be used to people. We're standing in line and they're like, they're all up on you on the back side or standing right next to you where they're, kind of touching you or whatever. And it's just a cultural difference that you just have to, get used to.
As we land the plane, give the people some sort of something they could take home, take away, give them some encouragement, talk to the folks about traveling, about Vietnam, about anything you want. This is
to try to narrow it down to one. I think I have to go back to something I alluded to earlier, is that for one, tomorrow's not promised. If you watch the movie The Matrix, it talks about the red pill and the blue pill, and I somewhat subscribe to that. But you've just got to commit yourself to experiencing life. I think I put on a Facebook post, that I got tired of watching everybody else's videos and looking at everybody else's pictures, and I wanted to go out and then actually experience it for myself. I wanted to take my own pictures, and I'm gonna post them all. I might try to throw a video together or something like that, and throw, not necessarily go and start my own channel or anything like that, but I may go and post it or create something like that just to kind of share with people. But you've got one life to live, and why not go out and experience it? You may not necessarily be able to come all the way to Vietnam, but go somewhere. Enjoy life, enjoy your family, go make some memories. And if you could come to a place in Southeast Asia, I would definitely recommend Vietnam being up there towards the top of the list. If not number one, number two, because the people here, the experience, the cost, you can't beat it. If you can find a place to beat this, then please let me know and I'll add it to the list. Because my plan is to my plan is to relocate, to go back. I have, a few months left on my lease. But once all that's taken care of, I'll do that. I've got some grandkids about to be born. So they'll be born, give them a kiss, pray over them, and I'm going to the airport. And so by all means, I'll have like a 2-bedroom at a minimum. Family, of course, y'all know y'all always welcome. So friends, you're always welcome.
Some of y'all.
Yeah, most. Yeah, most. I got a small group. But yeah. So, but yeah. But you know, I just want everybody to get out there and see the world, because it's, regardless of the country, there's a lot of places out there to see, experience, as opposed to just sitting at home every day doing the regular 9 to 5 or the 12 to 2, you know, the 6 a.m. 6 p.m. or whatever like that. You know, 5-6 days a week.
Fire encouragement right here by Coach, man. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation, man, with Coach. Man, if you guys are looking for anything that has to do with Vietnam, whether it's visas, whether it's transportation, whether it's anything you need, hit me up, man. I help expats all over the world, just like Coach. Take care of business. Come over here and make sure that things are good for you guys, so that nothing happens to you guys. I got you. All right. So, Coach, it's been a pleasure, man. You're amazing, man. You're an amazing guy, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
This guy right here is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate all your support.
All right, guys. See you guys on the next one. Peace.